listen to this episode if you have ever wondered if you need more branded packaging and what that really means for your small business. This is a question that I get from my clients very often, and this is actually submitted by one of you listening to this. And this client basically said, I see all of these small businesses with really cute packaging. Is this something that you feel like I need? You know, it does cost extra money, but I do understand that it looks more fun, it is more Instagrammable, and it does kind of just make people a little bit happier. What's your take, and what does that really look like? At the end of the day, when it comes to branded packaging, it is never necessary. I do think that you should have a thank you card or something in your packaging almost all the time. At this point, I think if somebody buys from a small business and it's just kind of like lackadaisically thrown together in a packaging, it just doesn't look as nice. It just doesn't look as professional as if you did have some branded packaging. Now, do you need a custom box? Do you need custom tissue paper? Do you need to wax seal the dang tissue paper closed? Absolutely not. But I do think that branded packaging to some degree, at least elevated packaging, does build a level of professionalism in your product. Yes, it does also make it more Instagrammable, where people want to take a picture of it and post it because they're so excited about it, as well as one of the largest reasons behind my love for a little bit of branded fun packaging is that the dopamine when they open the package is more than just if they get the product. They're already having a little bit of a dopamine hit, but we see that there's actually less returns when the packaging is cute. There's less, questions. There's better reviews, things like that. And why that is because it's something that is unexpected that is happening that adds just that much dopamine to the actual overall purchase. So when we're looking at this, it's kind of almost like they're getting two gifts in one, because yes, they already paid for this, but they also get to look at your packaging and say, oh my gosh, like this is beautiful. It makes them feel like they're opening a gift, even though most of the time they probably bought it for themselves. And so with all of that to say, a lot of times, if you can just put a couple extra dollars into branded packaging, it actually will help you in the long run. Your reviews will be better. Your customers will have a little bit more excitement when they're opening it. You might get more user-generated content where people are posting about it. And it really can come down to the fact that it makes people want to buy again, because again, they get that hit of dopamine. It's like when you are eating a bag of Snickers and there's like an accidental Reese's peanut butter cup in there from the factory. You're like, oh, you're so much more excited to see that Reese's peanut butter cup because you're like, oh my gosh, that's so much fun. All right. And so what you're kind of doing there is giving them that little extra hit of like, oh, wow, this purchase was so fun. There actually is a lot of research behind packaging. So if you are trying to cut costs, but also make it branded packaging a little bit, what I would recommend is having just a normal box. You don't have to have, or like a poly mailer. You can that is something that if you have a product that you can use a poly mailer, you can just buy more fun poly mailers and kind of call it at that, because you can find poly mailers pretty inexpensively that have some fun patterns on them or something, where when they are literally walking to their door and they see the packaging, they're like, oh my gosh, this is so fun. Or you can choose on the inside to have just something a little bit more personalized. Do I think a handwritten note is important in every single package? No. Do I think it adds a level of connection? Maybe, but I don't think it's absolutely necessary. What I think is more necessary is maybe have a fun color paper, or have some sparkles, or have like a new color, or have some stickers or something like that. Or at the end of the day, something that you could do is just put like a thank you for ordering, a picture of yourself. This is what we're all about. If you have like a hero product that everybody buys, or you have like if you have candles or something like that you can give some kind of care instructions to, and then give them like a sticker, which can literally cost you 30 cents. But we have found that when people give even the smallest of free gift or a sample or something mini in a package, that it actually, again, it shoots that dopamine up and it makes people want to buy again. They feel like they got a better value for your product because they actually got something for free. Even though a sticker can literally cost 20 cents, people value, the perceived value of that sticker is higher and they get really excited about it. And so if you were to do anything, I would say at the bare bones, have a little letter in there that can be pre-printed if you want it to be, introducing who you are, saying thank you, and maybe just add some more fun filler. A lot of times a different color filler or a ribbon won't actually cost that much more. And I know I talked about this in my profit margin, in my like packaging, or in my profit margin and affordability episode, but you can account for your shipping costs or your packaging costs inside of your product. So if you put 3 pieces of tissue paper in that product, you can account for that cost in your pricing and just add another 50 cents onto your cost if that is what makes sense for you. So you should be accounting for that shipping cost inside of your overall cost of your goods. So it's okay to kind of factor that in, and you should factor every single cost in to that, and that they are kind of at the end of the day paying for your extra packaging. Now, I don't think you need customized boxes. I don't think you need all of this like crazy stuff, but when you do have more professional packaging, and that can just be the packaging of your actual product as well. I guess this person that asked this question didn't specify if they meant like the shipping packaging of their product, of their goods, or the actual packaging of their product themselves. I do think that the packaging of your product should be branded. I do think the packaging of your product should have your brand name on it, should give a little bit of context of what it does, and it should look professional. You're going to be able to convert customers better if you can package your goods in a way that is exciting to your customers and is pleasing to your customers. A lot of brands out there, look at perfume. A lot of brands out there actually differentiate on having fun packaging because packaging will sell. I want you to think about yourself when you are shopping for a new product on the shelves. And when you are walking around Ulta and you're like, okay, which brand should I look at? You are looking at the packaging and which packaging calls to you. Now, if that packaging was just like a random jar bought off of Amazon and it didn't have anything that was fun or particular about it, you probably would pass it up. It's the same as Instagram. Same as what I always say is if you want to stand out, sometimes you have to do things a little bit differently than the rest. And your packaging can be that way as well. Look at how everybody else in your industry packages, and if you can just do something a little bit different as well. So for the original person that asked this question, if you were asking about packaging in your shipping, I think some of it can be branded. I think there should be a branded element to kind of add a little bit of dopamine to that product, to that purchase when they open it, as well as make it where they want to take a picture of it and they want to post about it. I do think that adds, there's a lot of research behind that actually adding value to the overall purchase. It helps people want to buy again. It helps people see a higher perceived value if you really want to go all in with it and put a sticker in there, or if you want to really make it really beautiful, or a ribbon or whatever, all of those things. I do see value in it. I think at a certain point that value kind of plateaus. It doesn't get any greater. But if you were talking about your actual packaging of your overall product, I do find that more aesthetic packaging does lead to businesses that can grow quicker, that will stand out and see results on social media quicker. And why that is just because people are vain and people are visually motivated and they do love some pretty packaging. I know when I'm looking, if I'm like shopping in a wine aisle, I'm like, all right, which bottle of wine looks the cutest? I don't know any of these words. Which bottle of wine looks the cutest? When I'm in looking at, for skincare, I use a lot of all natural skincare. So for me, but even that, like if I'm looking at this all natural skincare line, I'm just like, ooh, what is this packaging? Ooh, what is this? There's a reason that people put money into packaging, that if you are wondering if your packaging should be branded, it absolutely should have a logo on it. But how kind of aesthetically pleasing does it need to look? I would say to try to just make it look just as professional as possible with your current price point. And again, you can account for these costs in your actual overall costs of your goods. I hope this was helpful for you. I hope that you found some little nuggets in here. If you did, make sure you subscribe. We put out new episodes every Tuesday and Friday. If you have a question, a concern, a problem, a struggle you would like me to answer, please click the link in the show notes and you can submit it there. And I might answer your question in one of the next coaching session episodes. I hope you have a wonderful day. I love you. I'm rooting for you, and I'm in your corner always.